She's the friend who'll show up with coffee or wine when you need it most. But probably wine. Good vibes are on the way. Welcome to Aaron O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency.
Hi, welcome back to Aaron O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency. I'm Aaron. It is wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this week's episode. So for the past year plus, I have chatted with so many wonderful humans, and I'm really stunned at how many kiddos have stepped up to find ways to make the world better. And I mean, really young ones too. The one you're about to meet began doing things for others at the age of 3. 3. And all she has accomplished and all the great things that she continues to do, her mom is very insistent that it's what she wants to do. It's never something that mom is like, we need to do this. It is all about what Kendelle wants to do and who she wants to help. And wait till you hear how she is funding all of this. It is not what you expect, and it's really wonderful. Welcome to the Feel Good Frequency, Kendelle and Missy Reed. So, Kendelle, are you 11 now?
Yes, going on 12 this July.
What age were you that you first were like, I got to do something to help somebody else?
I think I was 3. When I was in preschool, we'd always make crafts for the kids during holidays. And it was Christmas time, and me and my mom were making
They were candy cane
Yes,
Christmas
candy
ornaments.
canes. So we made enough for my class, and then I said, wait, I want more because I have more friends. So she made like a couple more, but I wanted more, and then more. Probably like a couple hours later, we went to the store, and I bring them inside, and she's like, aren't you supposed to leave those in the car? We're going to put them in the bus. And I was like, no, I want to give them out to people. So we would walk around the store, and each person we'd walk past, I'd give a candy cane to.
That is so kind. Now, you were only 3. Do you remember their reactions? And did that make you want to keep doing this?
Mm-hmm. A lot of them were shocked. A lot of them were happy.
There was actually one woman, probably in her 70s. When Kendelle handed it to her, Kendelle said, this is for you. And the woman's like, for me? You don't even know me. And Kendelle says, I'm sharing Christmas. And the woman just started crying, sobbing. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? And Kendelle goes, can I give you a hug? And the woman goes, sweetie, she goes, you've given me so much more than a hug. She says, I just lost my husband two weeks ago. I wasn't even going to celebrate Christmas this year. She says, but you've given me something that nobody can take away from me. And so she gave her a hug. We went our separate ways. A few minutes later, the woman comes back up and she's got one of those, those little mini Christmas trees that you plant after Christmas?
Yeah.
She put that little candy cane ornament on that, and she says, this is going to sit in front of me. And every day I'm going to say to God how thankful I am for this little girl that restored my faith. And my husband's like, wow, I got to walk away. And we sit right there, and I'm crying, and Kendall's just glowing ear to ear. And that was the end of it, but that was the beginning of it. That the response that she got, she was like, I like making people smile. I like making people happy. And it just took off from there.
Oh my gosh, you are a girl after my own heart. So you were 3 at the time. Then I read something about when you were 10 and what you did with veterans. Was that the next big project?
We had a couple big projects. I think the first one, Addison Place.
What was Addison Place? Tell me about that.
The Addison Place is a nursing home for disabled people and elderly people. And
they live on their own, so they just require a little bit of help.
So during Christmas, they get gifts, but they never get names on the gifts.
But she made Christmas ornaments out of wood rounds. There's 51 residents there, and she put their name on the ornament because she said they don't get anything with their name on it. It's not personal.
We made those candy canes again.
The candy cane seems to be the thing. She made each of them a setting gnome, and we put some other little goodies in there. There was like 11 little items in there. And there was one little girl that was over there. And Kendall says, Mom, she doesn't want this stuff that the other people have. And I said, right, but what are we going to do? And that's my big thing. I always say, what are we going to do? And
Yeah.
she gives me her thoughts, and then I try to make it happen.
She really likes Paw Patrol, so we got her some toys related to that. I think we got her a stuffed animal of one of the characters too.
We ended up having a whole bunch of presents for this little girl.
Oh my gosh.
Then while we were handing the bags out, it was funny because everybody's like, oh, I want to take pictures. I want to take pictures. And then Kendall turns around and she looks, and the little girl's sitting over there opening her presents, and she's kind of struggling a little bit. And Kendall goes, Mom, will you finish this while I go help her? And she ended up sitting there playing with the little girl while I was handing the bags out. But the response from these people, they were crying. It was so amazing. And when they saw the ornaments with their names on them, it was like a whole new thing. We took it to another level.
I bet.
And
I love that.
that was like the biggest up until the vets.
So wait, how old was she for all of that?
I think like 9.
Goodness gracious, this is remarkable. You're not even in the double digits yet, and look at the difference you're making. Okay, so then we're 10, and how did this veteran project begin? It's so stunning.
We were at a craft show.
That's how she makes her money.
Yeah.
That was my next question.
I'm not really big into walking around and asking for donations.
Yeah, we don't like to do that. Her father and I instill in her that if we're going to do something, we're going to try and do it on our own. And therefore, with all the crafts that you make and you enjoy selling and stuff, we'll do that. And you can raise the money. But the Veterans Project, that got a little carried away because we had contacted them. We told them we wanted to do something for them for Christmas. And they said, well, can you do it another time? Because at Christmas time, we kind of get bombarded. And so we decided just to, okay, what do you need? They said they needed socks, underwear, and T-shirts. That's when Kendall started selling all this stuff. And every time that she did a craft show, we'd go and buy socks and underwear and T-shirts. They said they had 230 residents there.
Woo, that's a lot. Okay.
We bypassed her goal. Her goal was to make sure that each and every one of them had at least one. They ended up being able to have a few of each. And
I think we got like close to 500.
yeah,
Whoa, girl, holy cow. Oh my gosh.
it was amazing.
wow.
And she wanted to do something with the American flag. I want to make him a T-shirt. I said, okay. So we made 13.
Okay, explain this to somebody that doesn't see it. Explain how you do the flag, because I think this is so cool. I've never seen anything like it.
So she would paint my hand blue.
Yep.
And I'd put my hand like right on your heart.
Be the opposite side.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. Then we let it dry, and then we paint red stripes.
It's so crazy how if you look close, you can see that every single one is handmade, literally.
Yes. And then another friend of ours said, I have an idea. He took that picture from the shirt, he shrunk it down, and he does laser work. He made these little keychains and refrigerator magnets. His name's Clayton Vargason. He handed them to us. They were all just the wood cutouts. And he says to Kendall, I did this much. Now you go through and you paint all of those little handprints and you paint the stripes on there and you start selling them. And on the back, he put Kendall's Crafts for Kindness. So now she has her own logo. Kendall decided that she was going to sell them. Clayton suggested $5 a piece. Yeah, they went like hotcakes. When people see her, it's funny because they'll say, look, I still got this. And that just melts her heart. I was a little skeptical about putting her name out there, putting her face out there. So my husband and I both decided, we're going to let her do what she wants as far as, like when you called me about the interview, I have to ask her if she wants to do it. When Bill Holton called me about Women's World magazine, I'll let her decide whether she wants her face put out there. Kendall, what was your response when I asked you about it, though?
She asked me if I wanted to be put in the magazine, and I was like, you know what? Absolutely. But I don't know why I have to be put in a magazine for. I'm just doing what people should be doing.
You're a gift. I'm telling you, you're amazing.
I explained to her, if one adult or another child happened to see something like this and may just say to themselves, well, if this 11-year-old girl can do this, then I should be able to do something.
Yeah. And it's really, really special that you have found a way to do what you're obviously good at, which is crafting, and then sell it at different craft shows. I don't know many 11-year-olds that would take that money and then find a way to finance something that's going to help other people or that's going to make other people smile. They would probably just take that money and buy something that they wanted at the store. I am so inspired by you then taking that and finding a way to help others with it. That is so rare and so spectacular.
Kendall doesn't do anything for herself.
For Kendall, right, I'm getting
And
that.
it was so funny because, I mean, Kendall at the time was planning her birthday party and everything, and she's like, "I don't want gifts, Mom. I want just everybody to come, everybody that helped me." And I'm like, "Lady, do you know how many people have helped you?" And she says, "I know." She says, "But I want to invite the fire department. I want to invite police officers. I want to invite the mayor." Well, yeah, the mayor showed up. Several members from the fire department showed up. The police stopped by, but then she jumped right into her next project, which was the women's shelter.
How did you even find out about the women's shelter that was
One of
nearby?
our friends who is a police officer, she was working with a lady who I think dealt with domestic violence. The women's shelter didn't have many things that she needed, like a hairbrush, clothes, pads, tampons, things like that. So she reached out to us telling us about it, and Mom told me, and I was like, "Can we help the women's shelter?" And she was like, "You know what? Yeah, we can."
We asked her what sort of things that they need. Is this particular woman, when the police officer went to visit her, she said, "How are you doing?" And the girl said, "I would give anything just to be able to brush my hair. I had to leave my
Oh
brush
my God.
behind." As police officers are very limited as to what they can do because, in a case like that, when it's an open case, if you go and you give somebody a gift, well, then when they testify or whatever, it could be like, "Oh, you were coerced into that." So they
Right.
can't help them.
I never thought about that, that makes so much
Yes.
sense.
We never thought about it either until she mentioned it to us. She says, "For one of your next projects, if you're interested in doing this, I can give you a contact person." So she just jumped on the bandwagon, started making more crafts. We sold more crafts. That time she raised $1,500.
Wow. You sold $1,500 worth of crafts, and then you were able to take that money and get things that were desperately needed for the women's shelter.
Mhm. She even got games and coloring books for the children that are displaced during situations like that.
Girl, that's beautiful.
She's not your average 11-year-old.
No, not at all. You're an angel. When did you get a specific award? Are we at that point yet? Because this is so deserved.
March 2025, so it was after this. We were invited to the local fireman's banquet. Our mayor, he was announcing off the awards and he started naming the things that I did. And then he said, "This year's Citizen of the Year award goes to Kendelle Reed." And it took me like a minute to get up because everyone was standing, everyone was clapping.
Standing ovation, not a dry eye in the place. This little girl, she's sitting here and she's listening to what he says about helping the women's shelter, helping the vets, doing the Christmas program. Turns around and I'm like, they're talking about you. Her daddy presented her roses.
Which I kept for like 2 months. I would not throw them away. When I turn 14, I do plan on signing up to be a volunteer for a fire department, if possible, of
I'm
course.
not surprised. What is your latest project? Because I'm sure there's something.
We're helping out with the children's hospital.
After talking with Elena's mother, the children at the hospital really don't have anything to do other than sit there and wonder and worry and try to figure out why this is going on with them. I said, "What can we do to help?" And she says, "If we could find like little crafts or something." We're actually going to be going to a vendor show this weekend and we're going to keep raising money because this is a big one. What our goal is to take like Ziploc bags, put Play-Doh and cookie cutters in some, put little craft projects. We're going to stay away from beads because, there's little ones that might choke on them or they drop them on the floor and they're
Good
going to,
idea.
the nurses are going to step on them and then they'll be in the hospital.
We don't want that.
Right. we're just going to find little crafts that we can put in bags. That way, when a child comes in and they're sad, they need something to do, the nurses can just reach into a box and say, hey, here's a craft for you to do. Or here's some Play-Doh and cookie cutters. Why don't you play with this? Let them pick something so that they have something to preoccupy them. We want to make their stay at the hospital a little bit easier. And Kendall actually just last month raised money. We don't even have to ask for people to help.
They just help.
You've got a reputation now, girl.
Yeah. We ended up taking 50 fleece blankets, 50 stuffed animals. There was coloring books, word searches, crossword puzzles, crayons, pens. Took all of that to Elena's mom, Vicky, who then took it to the hospital for these kids to have. And
Wow.
now we're doing the craft bags for the hospital. So that's going to be a big project, and that's probably going to take us a while. And as we get some done, we'll send them up, and then we'll just keep working. This kid has a thing for children that have illnesses and people who are stuck in homes, and for the vets.
Those people are the nicest people that you will ever meet because they're not treated how they should be, so they decide to treat people how they want to be treated.
Tell her about the man at the Bath VA that saw the shirts that you made, what he said about winning bingo.
The VA does bingo and, the shirts that I made. We made a couple for the people there. There was an elderly man in all red. I was going around talking to all the veterans. Not many people go to visit them. He saw one of my shirts that were up there and he was like, you know what? I usually just come to bingo to have something to do, but now I really want to win bingo tonight because I like those shirts.
It just melted our hearts. And at the end of her visit over there, the people that kind of took us around and so forth, they were so kind to her. They took her to the canteen there and they let her pick out a couple of trinkets for herself. First thing she did was grab a United States Marine t-shirt.
Because my uncle was in the Marines.
She wanted to get that because her uncle was in the service. My brother, he is a crabbiest.
I'm actually the only one of his nieces that he will get a hug from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He is grumpy.
So she takes my phone, she calls him and she says, hi, Uncle Cal. And he's like, hi, kid, what you doing? And she says, well, I have something for you. Can we come see you? And he goes, yeah, I guess. And she goes, good, because we're right outside the door.
We've already stalked you, so you don't have a choice at this
Yeah,
point.
pretty much.
He was sitting there drinking his coffee, and I walk up to him and I give him the card I made specifically for him. And I said, this is for you. Thank you for serving for our country. And he's like, you know what? I've never gotten a card for something like this. I've never gotten a card like for serving the country. I've actually never got told, thank you for serving our country. And he wears
Wow.
tinted glasses. So I'm sure if he took off his glasses, you could see that he was about ready to bawl.
You have done right with this one, I tell you.
And the thing is, she was a late in life surprise. I was 44 when I had her. And at the time, her youngest sibling was 15.
Wow, big difference.
When you hear that saying, the gift that keeps on giving, she sits right beside me.
She's it. You got that right.
Everybody is so proud of her. And the thing that really makes me feel good is when she does something special like this, somebody will say, oh, what can I do for you? No, nothing. I don't want anything. She'll sit there. They'll argue with her. She'll say, a t-shirt's good enough for me.
So then here's my question. You were talking about your logo. Do you have social media or anything that people can kind of check out your crafts and what you're doing?
We use her Facebook.
I've been thinking about doing something like that, but I just am so nervous about weirdos contacting her.
I get it. I keep forgetting she's only 11. You are an old soul, girl, and you have so much of life figured out already that when I'm talking to you, I forget how old you are. Do you have any idea what you want to do when you grow up? But I mean, obviously, you have so long to think about it. It's just that the impact you've made in your short life, I can't wait to see what you're going to do as you get older. So I'm just really curious if you have any sort of path that really excites you or that you think maybe someday.
I do think about joining like the nursing field, joining the military or the army, something like that, or being a police officer or a firefighter Another thing I do really want to try is whenever I get older, I want to try and run like a shop for people who can't really afford things that they need, like groceries, water.
Maybe I'm the only one that got this, but she just named off every organization that she has helped. Did you notice that?
I've noticed that. I literally was sitting here going, check, check, check.
It's because I look up to those fields.
No matter what she does, I guarantee you, if it's anything like the last 11 years, I know that she's going to succeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that you are going to be successful and that you are going to continue to help people and make the world better. And I have loved every second I've gotten to spend with you. You make the world a better place. So thank you. Thank you for raising such an incredible human and for Kendall soaking up with such empathy people around you and finding ways to help. Thank you. Kendall, you are a gem and clearly somebody who is already making a difference, massive difference in your 11 years on this earth. I'm so impressed with you. And Missy, you are doing an awesome mom job. And I really appreciate the fact that Missy kind of stays back and lets Kendall do whatever she's inspired by. She doesn't push her to do anything. It's always Kendall coming and saying, hey, I heard about this person that needs something. And is it okay if I start making crafts and selling them so I can get it for this? It just, wow, that is so inspirational. And I can't say enough good things about what you're doing and the wonderful karma and also goodness that you are putting out in the world. So thank you for being you and for sharing it with us. If you know somebody who is making the world a better place, do tell. AaronO'Malley'sFrequency.com is my website. It's AaronO'Malley'sFrequency.com. You can email me straight through there. I'll get right back to you and we can chat about what you're doing or what somebody you know is doing to make the world a better place. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next week. Bye.